Hello again, Christina Johnson here, and welcome to the section on social constructionist and postmodern framework. I definitely have a worldview that there is not one true reality. Rather, that everyone creates their own sense of reality through meaning and language. I heard it said once that language is the highest form of architecture. So we are architects of our own reality. And how do we build that reality? Through language, through the stories that we tell ourselves, through the dialogue that we have with other people. And so point of view really matters. I know I shared with you all in the last section on how I build rapport with my clients and how I show them that their point of view, their perspective matters to me. Because it matters. It matters. You matter. I matter. But my clients, they matter most. And how they see things is something that is of value to me. So I have an exercise. Surprise, surprise. I have an intervention that I do with my clients that really illustrates this worldview that we all create our own reality. And so I have an object in my room, in this case, my Kauai coffee. Oh my gosh, so good if you haven't tried it. I grab a box. It could be a Kleenex box, what have you. I usually pick something that has some writing or an image or something on it, and then I place it on the table in front of us. You guys can't really see it, but pretend like it's sitting right here in front of you or on the table in the office. Then I give you a piece of paper, you a piece of paper, you a piece of paper. Whoever's in the room has a piece of paper, and I have a piece of paper. I'm like, okay, let's all draw this box of Kauai coffee. And you don't have to take much time doing this, just draw a picture of what you see. And then once they are done drawing, and they're done drawing, and I'm done drawing, we can take each of those drawings and we can place them up on the wall. They are each going to be different, right? You can see the coconut caramel crunch. You can see the picture of the hula girl on there. I can't see that from where I'm sitting. My drawing would have the K-cup on here, the aloha, the little words on there, their website. So then I would say, okay, why are they all so different? It's pretty obvious, right? It's because we have different viewpoints. We're sitting at different places in the room. And then I would say, well, does that make my drawing any more right than yours? No, right? We're just sitting in different places in the room. It doesn't make my drawing any more right than yours. It doesn't make yours any more right than the others sitting next to you. They're very similar sitting next to each other, but they are slightly different. And it doesn't mean that anyone is more correct or true than the other one. It's just different perspectives. So I let them know early on in treatment that I'm going to be checking with them for their viewpoints on things. And what do they mean by that? What meaning are they getting out of it? And so I know that language is super important because it's how we create our reality, right? So Stephen DeShazer has a book that I bought back in the day, and it's called Words Were Originally Magic. Love that title, right? So good. Words were originally magic. And I know that words are still magic. So powerful. And DeShazer talked about how objectivity is an illusion. It's an illusion. We all have our own truths. We all have our own meaning. We all have our own reality. And so another way of illustrating this is that I talk to my clients about the power of the words that we use and the power of the language, and how if I were to say that I am scared and I say that I am excited, two seemingly completely different experiences, right? So physiologically, it's the same thing. It's the same physical experience. Okay, my heart's beating faster, I'm sweating, my hands are clammy, shaky, pupils dilate. I experience the same neurotransmitters going off, the same hormones, cortisol, adrenaline, same thing. But if I say that I am feeling excited, then the meaning that I make behind that is a positive one. If I say that I am scared, totally different meaning, totally different experience. I'm going to experience it as negative. Excited, it's going to drive me to want to go towards it, to want to do it. Scared, I'm backing up. I'm backing up. I do not want to do that. It's going to anxious, avoidant behavior. Yeah, let's back off. So language matters. Language totally matters. And the meaning that we make is huge, huge. So I know that there is a class later on down the road that is more specifically on solution-focused therapy. So I'm going to not really go so far in detail into how solution-focused my framework is. I'm going to try to stick to social constructionist. Say that 5 times fast. And how I make meaning of that, and how me knowing my worldview helped me choose my theory of change. And it helped me to gravitate really towards that as my framework. So knowing that I believe that we all create our own reality, and that my clients come in with their own reality, and that is something that's going to be shaped and reshaped and shifted in our therapy, that's important. Whenever a client comes in, a family comes in with their problem-saturated story, they come in, they're expecting to talk all about what's going wrong and the problems, and I'm not just simply going to reflect my client's story. Instead, I'm going to be shaping and reshaping it through what I'm focusing on, and through carefully selected questions from my framework, from my theory of change. And those questions are going to help the client and the family to restory their lives and their experience and their reality. How cool is that, right? That's pretty cool that they are the architects, right? And so I'm going to be co-creating with them. I'm going to be co-authoring with them. I'm going to be helping them by my very deliberate questions and very deliberate focus. And that tends to be on what they want and their solutions and how they want their lives to be. So as they start to experience through reauthoring or restorying their lives, they experience these different meanings, right? They have these different meanings that are more preferable. And one of the big parts of my worldview, too, in social constructionist and postmodern framework is that I believe in my clients' innate abilities to shape and to reshape their destiny. I believe that they are the architects, and I believe that they're the experts. They come in to see me for therapy because I am an expert, and I quickly really humanize myself and let them know that I believe that they are the experts in their own lives. They know more about their families than I do. I'm just getting to know them. I've only known them for a short while. They've known each other their entire lives. So I let them know that I believe in them and that their point of view matters to me. And so I believe in their innate ability to shape and reshape their destiny through finding solutions to their difficulties and also realizing their resources and their limitless potential in themselves. We all have limitless potential. And I've learned to broaden my views of what are problems and what are solutions. And I let the family really define it. I know I shared with you all the window wall. Oh, there's my window wall, by the way. The sticky note activity where they really define the problems that brought them in, and they define what it looks like on the door when they're going to be ready to graduate. And that's how we do treatment planning. So I really do let them define it, and that helps guide me. You know, it helps anchor me in my assessment with clients. I am not so problem focused on pathologizing the family. I spend a lot of time focusing on their strengths and really what's going to be different whenever the problems that brought them in for therapy have been resolved. And I can talk for days on the miracle question, but I'm going to save that for the solution-focused section. So the important part with this postmodern framework and the social constructionist piece is that I want the family to be thick and rich and detailed in their descriptions of things, and that I'm always checking with them on the meaning. What do you mean by that? What does that mean to you? And having them describe it, and then really lending them my solution-focused language and my focus and my language, and trusting that that is helping to reshape their reality in a more preferable way. So, possibility land. If we all construct our own destiny and our own reality, then it really is limitless potential, limitless possibilities, which is kind of exciting and kind of hard for clients at first that come in that aren't sure what they want and maybe weren't expecting to be asked that. And so it kind of stumps some people at first whenever I ask them, what's it going to be like whenever you're, bye, Christina, we don't need you anymore. You know, what's life going to be like after the problems have been resolved? And so one of the things that I would like to leave you guys with is another visual. I let my families know early on that I'm a visual person and that I like to picture things. And so a visual analogy that I love is that of the bumblebee. Have you guys ever seen a bumblebee? Have you seen a bumblebee? They've got tiny little wings and they've got a big body. Their thorax and their, I don't know the anatomy of a bumblebee, to be honest, but I've seen one a time or two. And they've got tiny little wings and they've got a big body that looks way too heavy for them to fly. They should not be able to fly. But they do. They do. And so I talked to my families about this bumblebee and how it should not be able to fly. But it does not grow up being told by other bees, oh, look at those little wings. Look at that big body. You can't fly. You can't fly. So it never develops that language. It never develops that belief that, well, I can't fly. My wings are too small. My body's too big. I can't fly. No, it doesn't. So what does it do? It fulfills its purpose in life, and it is pretty happy, joyous, and free, just flying around, pollinating, and doing its thing. It's not limited down by these concrete, these meanings, these limiting beliefs that I can't fly. So I believe that all of my clients are bumblebees. And being able to watch people, sometimes for seemingly the first time, sit there and allow themselves to daydream together as a family about what their lives can be like after therapy. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And then having them come in week after week and asking them what's better, what's different from the last time I saw you. And they start to tell me these pieces of the door, sticky notes, and these pieces of their miracle that are coming true, that they are experiencing, that are becoming their new reality. I don't think that there's anything better than that. There's just not. It lights my fire, it excites me, and I know that that is within every single person that walks in that door. They are all bumblebees. And so, irregardless of which evidence-based practice that I end up using with a client, that framework, that social constructionist viewpoint, that they are creating their own reality and that people are basically good and they are experts and they are architects. It really does ground me, and it helps me to water what we want to grow. They're all bumblebees, and so are you, and so am I. So let's fly through this semester, get curious, stay curious, and stay open-minded, because the potential and the possibilities are limitless if we share that social constructionist viewpoint. So I hope I gave you some good food for thought, and maybe even an intervention or an analogy or two that you can use with your clients. So over and out, and I'll see you next time.